Hello everybody, this is Kirby over yonder, and I'm pretty sure we all have those games. Those games that you treasure deeply and would sacrifice time you could spend doing chores or studying just to play them. For some it may be Super Mario 64, for others it may be Ocarina of Time. For me it's Kirby's Return to Dreamland. But for every 10 amazing video games, there's always that game that frustrates you, the game that makes you hate the video game community, or the game that makes you want to put down your controller and go outside. Well, I'm going to be counting down those types of video games for me anyways. Now, in terms of video games, I haven't played most of the really bad ones, like the Mario and Zelda CDI games, Superman 64, Bubsy 3D, Sonic 06, Sonic Boom, etc. So, these games might not be that bad in comparison to those other games, but I've still really hated playing these, and they just make me want to put down the controller and study. So I have two rules for this list. One, I must have played a decent amount of the game. Second, I'm not including mobile games because, let's face it, most mobile games are only made by one or two guys, so it'd be kind of unfair to include them on the list. So, let's get started. Number 5. Adventure Time. Explore the dungeon because I don't know. Aw man, I really wanted this game to be good. It's freaking Adventure Time, my second favorite TV show of all time. But while this game has some good aspects like the graphics, the music, and the voice acting, this game as a whole is just really boring. For the most part, it seems like it's trying to copy 2D Zelda games, and unlike 2D Zelda games, it's not fun or creative or anything. I mean, seriously, this is based off of Adventure Time, one of the most creative and innovative shows in recent memory. Why does it have to be a 2D Zelda knockoff? I haven't played any of the other Adventure Time games, but from what I've heard, Hey Ice King, Why'd You Steal Our Garbage is a pretty good game. But for now, I have this mediocre Zelda knockoff, and it's definitely one of the worst and most boring games I've ever played. Number 4. New Super Luigi U. Technically, this game is DLC to New Super Mario Bros. U, but you can buy it as its own separate game, so I'm counting it. So this is the worst Nintendo game I've ever played, and it's a shame because Nintendo is awesome, and Luigi is awesome. How could this go wrong? Well, the main problem with this game is the 100-second limit. And man, I hate time limits in video games. And in this game, for every single level, you can only get 100 seconds to complete it. It just makes the player feel stressed and like they can't take their time on a level. They just have to get to the goal as fast as they can. Also, since there's only 100 seconds per level, that means that the creators got less creative with the level designs. The levels themselves are pretty much shorter versions of the levels from New Super Mario Bros. U. Also, I thought that the inclusion of Nabbit as a playable character was a little random. The only thing about that game that I really liked was that Luigi does have some attributes that he has in some of the other Mario games, like being able to jump higher and being able to slide farther. But as a whole, this game is a pretty big misrepresentation of Luigi. I'd personally stick to Mario and Luigi Dream Team or Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Number 3. Regular Show, Mordecai and Rigby in 8-Bit Land. Man, I really want to like this game. I mean, the graphics and music are flat out fantastic, and it kind of has that regular show vibe to it that I really like. However, there is one thing holding this game back: the difficulty. Enemies are everywhere in the level, and it's very obnoxious. Also, you die in one hit. Great. And you only get like 3 lives. Yup, just fantastic. Honestly, if it weren't for the difficulty, I'd probably really like this game. But because it's just so obnoxious with how difficult it is, it has to be on the list. Number 2. Skylanders. Yes, all the games, or at least the first 3, because those are the ones I've played. But good God, I hate Skylanders. First problem, you have to buy the characters, like at the store. The gimmick of this game series is that when you buy the figure of a character, you get to play as that character in the game. But really, it's just so the developers can get more money, and not because it's actually an interesting game element. Also, the level design is so boring. Seriously, all you do is walk, solve a puzzle, walk, solve a puzzle, fight an enemy or two, and then solve another puzzle. And it's not like the puzzles are actually interesting or creative, like in Scribblenauts. No, the puzzles are so tedious and boring and stupid. And the voice acting in this game is so cringy. I think my cringe meters broke because of it. And the creators feel the need to introduce a new gimmick for every single game just because they know that no one's gonna buy these games. Good video games do not need gimmicks. As long as the gameplay is fun, then people will buy and love the game. But for Skylanders, the gameplay isn't fun, so people aren't gonna buy this game. Thankfully, it seems as if the popularity of Skylanders has been dying down, which I think is a good thing. So let's just leave this game where it belongs, in the garbage. Number 1. SpongeBob SquarePants, Plankton's Robotic Revenge. Oh, this game. This game feels like it was just designed to cash in on the SpongeBob franchise. The gameplay is so boring. What, you can shoot things, you have a very low range melee attack, and you can ground pound. Only 3 attacks, and they're all incredibly boring to use. The graphics look so dull it could be mistaken for a Call of Duty game. The characters don't shut up. The ending of the game pretty much proves that the entire game was flat out pointless, and that one boss battle. Yeah, there are 4 bosses, but there's pretty much only one boss because all 4 of those bosses are the same boss, which is Robot Plankton. And Robot Plankton is one of the most mind-numbingly stupid boss battles I've ever played. It's so repetitious and boring and mind-numbing, and I hate it. I despise this game. But that being said, I did play it with my 2 brothers, and we did have a pretty fun time making fun of the game, but that does not make up for how mind-numbingly annoying this game is. I think it's safe to say that for every lousy game out there, there's at least 50 amazing games, and I think the amount of good games there are in the world definitely overshadow the bad ones. And I have a feeling that the quality of our games will keep getting better as long as technology is improving and creators are motivated. So do you have any hated games yourself? Let me know in the comments. Kirby out.